Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Hey, how's it going, guys? Flying head. Getting your messages a little bit late, so sorry about that. Parotao, hola. Me hablado un pero españoles. But thank you. Should probably turn down the bitrate a little bit, otherwise stream quality is going to suffer. Well, I mean, you guys are going to lose frames and all that stuff. We haven't actually started streaming yet today because just kind of wanted to say hello to everyone, you know? I don't really feel like I'm ready to draw just yet. Today we're actually working on Crimson Spiral. I haven't actually streamed from Crimson Spiral in a long time, which is a bit naughty of me, but hey. Crimson Spiral is like, it's like a fighting game that I'm making with a couple of other people, so I need to work on some of the sprites for the characters today. Serum BT, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Pyro Tau, I know enough to understand a lot of conversations, but I don't know enough to speak it fluently. I'd say that I'm probably about 20% fluent, but I need to, you know, I need to practice a lot. See, like that. Nuevo capítulo el juego. That's like a new game or something, right? How much money have I invested in the project? Which project in particular? Are you talking about the Binding of Isaac one, or are you talking about the Crimson Spiral? Because the Binding of Isaac one, Trauma, I haven't really spent any money on it, aside from for this camera and for this microphone. It's been pretty much free. I mean, you know, I guess you could argue and say that, like, I've spent some time that I could be using on making money on making the game, but I mean, most of the time I work at night, so this would have just been free time anyways. Yeah, I don't really know how else to put it, aside from that. I should be practicing more Spanish, actually. I'm supposed to be practicing every day, but last week I was a little bit unfocused and I've lost my streak. Check this out. You can probably hear me eating, because I'm eating a little bit too close to the microphone. Sorry about that. Let me close my window, actually. It's really noisy out there. I can make models for games and stuff like that. Like, I've made mods for games before. Would you like to know anything about modding for a specific game? Like, I can make 3D models, I just don't do it very often because it's really, really time consuming. But yeah. You add a new capitul. Do you mean a new character, or...? I think capitul might be a Spanish word. Let me translate that for you, actually. Capitulo? Oh, a new chapter to the game. Well, maybe not a new chapter, you know, I mean... Like, we're still kind of working through pretty basic stuff at the moment, so nothing that exciting. Yeah, it's my invisibility cloak, check this out. I should make a hat out of this. Alright. Pyro, check you later, dude. I'm gonna be on for quite a while tonight, so... If you come back later, I'll probably still be on. This is my green screen that I'm wearing right now. I need to create something behind me to actually hold it up. At the moment I don't really have that, so... just playing around with it. I don't know why, but some of my messages are coming in late. So if I don't reply to you like straight away, then you know why, eh? I did something really silly on the weekend. I got really wasted. And, yeah, just a whole bunch of, like, really ridiculous crap. I feel kind of bad, though, because, like, I actually met a girl that was really, really nice. But I don't really remember her name or anything like that. We actually sat down and had a conversation. I don't even remember that much. She's a beautiful girl, though. I don't even remember her name, actually. I just remember she was really, really beautiful. Like, there was one point in the night, we had this, well, I ended up going to this club, right? And there was like a VIP area, and I was so like shit-faced. And I thought it'd be kind of funny to sit in the VIP area, and then the owner came out and he's like, what the fuck are you doing in the VIP area, you know? And then I ran away, and I'm really lucky I didn't get punched, actually. It was pretty bad. Anyways. It's fine, Budgie. Nice to have you here anyways. You know, I'm really not sure why, but my webcam just doesn't seem to show up on OBS sometimes, so I gotta like reinstall it every now and then. There you go. That's not the right image. I suppose you've now found the secret behind my little magic trick there. Actually, this is dumb. Give me 2 seconds. I just need to get something. Sorry. It's like the most budget goddamn green screen ever. Humble beginnings. That looks pretty good. Could hide a person behind that. Anywho. You know, it's really kind of bullshit how YouTube stops you from listening to certain kind of music on stream. Like, I kind of wish that I could just put on the music that I like. Instead, you gotta really find, like, non-copywritten music and stuff. It just seems a bit senseless. But that would just be me stating the obvious, I guess. Please pardon the slight setup time. thought it would do it. Much better. Now we can do this. So the video doesn't have to take up the entire goddamn screen, as it usually does. You can have a little bit more screen real estate for the important stuff. Either I've lost my mind or I'm putting my sprites in the wrong folder and I've lost them. No, I found them. Cool. Sorry, I think the net went down there for a minute. Jesus. If you hear sounds in the background, I'm sorry about that. My housemate is watching the trashiest show I've ever seen in my life. What's up, Brenna? Yeah, it's like Jody Shore or something like that. I don't really know what it's called. It's like some bullshit with a bunch of brats, basically. It's basically Jersey Shore, but it's like British. Yeah, God, it's really horrible. I've got a funny story about that, but I'll tell you that in a minute. Dictador, today we're doing Crimson Spiral Sprites. Yeah, it's like there's like two shows that she seems to watch. The one is that, and the other one's like this thing called, I think it's called Forever Land or something like that. It's about like a bunch of fantasy characters that just want to steal each other's babies. It's really fucking weird. I just gotta change my Twitch. Sorry for the hold up, guys. Yeah, she's watching Jodie Show. I'm not really sure what it's called. It's just like a bunch of like assholes who get together and talk about each other's like genitalia for about like an hour or something. It sounds like a really sounds real awesome. Okay, I can hear myself. It's kind of irritating. Look, I guess I can't really judge. I watch some really, like, stupid crap as well. She says, like, she hates every single show that I love, though. That's really strange. We both hate each other's shows. So when I make fun of, like, Jodie Shore and stuff like that, she makes fun of me for watching Futurama, though I don't really see the sense in that, because it's a good show, right? Yura, today we're working on sprites for a personal game of mine. Well, more of a personal project, but you'll see it in a minute. I've got this character with these really detailed sprites that I need to finish up, and I've been needing to finish up for a very long time. Shit, that actually reminds me, I was supposed to put on this extension for OBS so that you guys could see my key presses, but I guess I'll have to save that for next time. So this is what we're working on today. It's only got 4 frames at the moment because, you know, you start off like really simple and then you just keep on kind of working on it, adding more and more frames, making it more smooth, etc, etc. But eventually we'll want to get like a, well, maybe not like a 60 frame per second animation, but like a smooth animation, let me put it that way. Cool, so I'm going to be on for a while tonight, and you guys can watch. God, my back is killing me. Okay, that's a bit better. Just tell me if the music's too loud or anything like that, because I can't really preview the stream right now. Alright, cool. I think we can finally get started. I really don't like the way the leg looks over here. It looks really, really fucked up. Gotta fix that too. The music's actually from a game called Streets of Rage 3. I used to play it obsessively when I was a kid. But I think it's like... God, it... Yeah, it's over 20 years old, so not surprised if you don't know where it comes from. It's really funny, actually. This game is like ancient, right? When the second one came out, though, it actually influenced the entire genre of dance music in the 90s. So if you hear like a lot of trance music from the 90s, like odds are that it was actually heavily influenced by like a video game, which is really funny. But a lot of people don't actually know about that. I used to love that game though, but it's like unplayable now. Like, I'm sorry if anybody here is a fan, because trust me, like, I'm a huge fan of this game, but it really, the gameplay element just didn't really age very well. It got kind of boring. I don't know, have you ever tried to like play an older game and you just find it like so fucking hard? And it's not because of graphics or anything like that, or like, you know, dated music or anything like that. It's just like, straight up, that gameplay is just different. Like, there's no, you know, replayability, and it's not really like, it doesn't really hit that sweet spot, you know? Like, I used to love the shit out of Final Fantasy VII when I was a kid, but I can't play that game anymore. Maybe it's because I played it like 100 times, but still. Like, there are times when I play video games and I feel like if I'm not doing specific something, you know, I'm just, well, if I'm not playing a certain game or something like that, I'm just wasting time. Because I could be getting, you know, freaking unlock points or whatever for like the latest skin and all that crap. But maybe I'm just being cynical. Let's see if I can do this without making it look completely spastic. People were begging for a sequel or a remake for this game for like years. It just kind of ended on the third one. They never made another one. I mean, there was like a fan game, but they just ended up getting sued for making it by Sega, so that's kind of sad. But the thing that's really funny is actually, I think it's Netflix or HBO, one of the huge like TV companies is actually making a series based on Streets of Rage. So we literally got like a TV show before we got a sequel to the goddamn game. Or, you know, we might. I mean, they've been saying that they're going to make like a Venom movie for the last like 2 decades, so I wouldn't hold your breath. And they're making a series about Altered Beast, which is also kind of strange. Or really freaking strange, I don't know. I really got this feeling like I've actually already done the sprite. Or maybe I'm just losing my mind, I don't know. I can see the problem with this one already. It's not low enough. This is going to look really messy for a while. It's not going to look very good at all. I'm just going to have to give it some time. The refinement comes later. Now we just got to make sure that all the proportions are looking alright. And right now it really doesn't look alright. Okay, this song's starting to get irritating. It kind of looks like his leg is bending towards the screen. So that's not good. Just trying to think about how the anatomy would actually work in this normally. Hey Benjamin. Welcome to the studio. Yeah, it's that leg in the front. Really doesn't look right. Dibuja, I can't quite remember what that term means. I'm sorry, man. Thanks, Tito. I actually need to go get my animation book. Give me 1 second. Just give me a minute, I'll be right back. Hello? Is that you, Dan? Well, let me create the game first and then we'll see. But thank you, I'll take that as a compliment. This book is pretty essential. Yeah, I mean, look, like, Owlboy came out recently, and, like, the artwork is really amazing for that, but it also kind of scared me because it took forever for the game to come out, like, maybe, like, 10 years. But hopefully this doesn't take quite that long. I'm really not winning with this frame, it doesn't look right. Dan, can you hear me now?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, dude?
I'm good and you. I just saw your message. I was like, what up?
Yeah, how's it going, dude?
I'm good, thanks.
How's it feel to,
Playing some Fallout 4.
Oh, cool.
Dude,
Yeah?
the building in this game is dog shit.
Building? Building like what? Like?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Okay,
right,
so-
you build settlements, yeah?
Yeah, okay, anyway, so I decided I want to put up like a scaffolding around the, like, just where people could come in.
Yeah?
And then just put loads of turrets on it. So, you know, first things first, I build some walls, and then I build like a floor with stairs in it, and then I just build on top of that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking down and I'm like, wow, I just have like an endless litany of floor. So I'm like, oh, let's see what happens if I delete the wall underneath. Okay, it just stays there, like floating in the air, permanently. So I'm like, okay, that's hilarious. So I build it all around the base and put turrets all over it. And I'm like, yeah, it's like a floating, it's floor with the turrets on it. I'm like, okay, this is like cheating. So I'm like, I don't really want to, cheat myself because that's really all I'm doing. I'm not playing against anyone. So I'm like, you know what? I'm really going to do this properly. So I spend about 2 hours building this like structure. It's got walls all along it so that it can support it. I've built like extra space. I put floors in. I built 2 stories, right? So then I start putting guard posts in it and assigning citizens to the guard post. I'm like, yeah, this will be great. They won't go up. They just refuse. I'm just like, what the hell? So then I like look online and they're like, no, it needs a base or whatever. So dude, I'm not like a high level, but I'm like level 28. It's like it's an okay level. It's not easy to level up like from building. I literally leveled up from building, dude. I was like putting down concrete blocks. Dude, I like the concrete foundations where it wouldn't snap together. I just left it and I built extra. Dude, I probably started doing this at about 4 o'clock my time. It's now 10 to 8. Sorry, 10 to 9, 10 to 9, right? This has been like a almost 5 hour endeavor. So I get done, I put all the guard posts up, and I'm like, okay, go stand in it. They refuse. Dude, I didn't even tear the stuff down. I just went back to an earlier load where I don't have any defense, just like some stuff on the wall, on the roof of my house, and I'm just running around killing the inhabitants of Sanctuary and then reloading. I've snapped, dude. Like, honestly, it's broken my spirit. I don't even want to play anymore.
It's broken your spirit, Jesus.
Dude, it's gone. Like, dude, I've spent almost 5 hours. Okay, so about 4.5 hours for the last 20 minutes I've just been killing them. But like, dude, I spent 4.5 hours like painstakingly doing this just because I think, if I was a developer and, I left in a stupid glitch like floating floors, I'd want people who to not do it. Or even more than that, I don't want to cheat myself, Chris. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what? This game doesn't give 2 shits if you cheat yourself. In fact, it encourages you to do that because when you try and do things right, you know what it does, Chris? What? It fucks you over. This game's been out for years, Chris. I was playing the other day. There's this thing called Cabot House, right? Where like
House.
Basically, yeah, Cabot House. Okay, hashtag. No, in fact, no spoiler alerts. Okay, I'll just say this, right? There's a mission where you have to retrieve someone from the who lives in the house, right?
Yeah.
So I go through, I do the mission, and there you are. Now you're meant to free this individual. Okay, so I get there, not in the room. Okay, what's going on? Oh, they're back at the house. Okay, something must have glitched. Guess what?
What?
Do you know what?
What?
Okay, it's a glitch. She's just permanently locked in a room in the house. So I'm like, what? So, dude, I go online, okay, and like I search forever, dude. I went to Nexus Mod Manager. I put in the unofficial Fallout patch, but that didn't work. And then I was like, okay, what is it? And then I see that they have their own mod where they have the same mod on. So I went and I did that. But then it's like achievements are disabled, you cheating fuck. And I'm like, I'm just trying to patch what should have been patched by yourself because this is a game-breaking bug.
Oh man, that's bullshit. Yeah.
So anyway, so then I stop and I remove all the mods, everything. And I find a fix where basically you just complete the quest using the console. And dude, I was so mad. I didn't want to do that. But once again, does the game reward me for not trying to fuck it? No, it fucks me. Oh, man, dude. You don't understand how salty I am. Right now, dude, I've just shot Preston about 16 times. I have nothing against the guy. In fact, he's the only one who stands in his guard post. I'm gonna go kill the person who wouldn't stand in their guard post. Where is she?
I love how, like, whenever you play games, it always seems to come down to this, like...
Hold on. Dude, so I found a machete that does limb damage.
Oh, no.
Here's her brother, actually. I'm gonna kill her brother.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, he's dead.
Do the
Yo.
settlements still look like shit? Because I
Oh,
know
okay, the settlers have turned on me. Come on! I shouldn't have done this with a machete. I must use my guns as usual. Okay. Hang on. Had to lose your life. Look at you. What would you do without my protection? I've just killed like 4 of them. Like... Yeah, all those turrets I put up, you've taken them for granted, haven't you? They have, dude. I'm just wrecking them. So you know you can get a super mutant settler, right?
I didn't, but go on.
Okay, you can.
Okay.
I don't think it's too much of a spoiler because it's like a pretty standard mission. It's not like you have to do anything hard.
I haven't actually ever played the game before, so don't worry.
Okay.
Like,
Anyway,
I'm
you
going
can,
in, so.
and he keeps talking about like how he wants to fight. Now that I'm killing everyone, he's just standing around doing nothing. Oh, dude, this dude just put on my power armor. I've not seen that yet.
Wow, what shit.
I wonder what happens if I continue playing the game now, having killed all these people.
You should take it as a challenge and actually play it like that.
No ways, dude. I'm gonna reload, like, unless I'm done. Like, I can be done with a game. I've done it so many times.
Has that really, like, made you so salty and not even gonna play the game anymore?
Dude, I'm dead serious.
It seems, No, I would get pretty pissed off if I put in that amount of time. Didn't get what I wanted.
Alright. What?
What?
Dude, this chick, she just went to my gun safe and took out like one of the most savage, some savage weapons that I have. It's one of those, it's that like, it's that chainsaw that you use with your hand.
Yeah.
Like, and she just attacked me with it.
Fucking ass, Jesus.
To be fair, I did kill her brother with a machete.
Yeah, I think she's... That seems kind of fair, actually.
Yeah, dude. Still though, I can't handle this, dude. It's just so game breaking. Why put building in the game and then not put any effort into it? Especially with the AI. It's like the whole game, like, you know, the sanctuary system, this, what do you call this system? Settlement system is like meant to be a big part of the game.
Yeah.
And then building and everything, you know, you always have to take stuff back and scrap it to get resources. And you know what, Chris? It's bullshit. Because basically, if you use those resources and you build something, then all the settlers that you've gathered do nothing. They barely interact with them.
It's...
Oh, I'm so done.
I don't think they could ever do a system like that in a satisfying way, though.
Ah, bullshit. Of course they can. I bet you there's about 100 mods that let you do that shit correctly.
Isn't there that thing in Skyrim as well where you can get a house and stuff? It just never really appealed to me.
Yeah,
I just know that
dry.
they're gonna fuck it up, like. Dude, I played some Hero League on the weekend. It made me want to kiss a gun again.
What happened on the weekend?
Well, I played a little bit of like HOTS Hero League, and it was just entirely cancer.
Oh, dude, you should have called me, bro. I would have jammed with you.
I did. You were somewhere else, remember?
Oh no, dude, that wasn't on the weekend though. That was on a Friday. How's it, Justin? How you doing, man?
Justin?
It's Mike.
Hello.
Looking. Oh, there he is.
Justin.
How's it going, Rue?
Hey dudes, how are things?
Oh, that's good. I'm just complaining about Fallout 4 bitterly.
Are you playing it?
Yeah.
Why? What's wrong?
Dude, I can't go over the whole story again. Needless to say, I spent 4.5 hours building, and then like,
The settlement stuff.
Yeah,
You
and
just made
then
a whole
basically
settlement,
none
now
of
he's
the
just-
settlers could use the building, and dude, because initially what I did is I just built like a whole bunch of floors that were on nothing, and then deleted
Yeah.
all the walls and had like a floating sky structure with turrets on. And then I
Okay.
thought to myself, you know what, that's lame. Who am I cheating here? Just myself. So I went out of my way and I painstakingly built for about 3 hours, like this amazing outer structure with walls and guard turrets that have concrete foundations, the works, everything, right?
Okay.
And then I assign people to these guard posts, and they just do nothing. You know what? You know what that's called, Justin? That's called fucking bullshit. Right? Fuck this game. I've just been telling Chris, I'm just running around killing the settlers and then loading and then killing the settlers.
I got back into it after my initial because I really enjoyed that game. But it does lack in a lot of really crucial bits. It feels like things were sort of half developed and they had some good ideas. But I just modded my game to shit, and I loved it. I loved it.
I didn't mod it, although I'm thinking I might just.
Can I suggest one for you?
Sure.
Hang on, check this out. Okay, for the settlement system, for it to be fully realized, this is the one you want. Sim settlements.
Sim settlements.
So basically, sim settlements. So basically, what you do is instead of building entire boring ass floors and walls and etc., what you do is you put down plots, and your settlers will then build on those plots. It's sort of randomized and it looks really good, and then it increases what sort of needs they have and desires, and this game made the settlement system fun for me.
You know what though, for me, I'm so broken right now over that bullshit. I know how it sounds, but it's just the truth. There's no way on God's green earth I could ever want to be involved in some kind of simulation ever again. I'm done. I'm 100% done. Dude, I'm literally just replaying myself killing all my citizens, loading, killing them all, and then reloading and doing it over again.
Damn,
Okay.
when
Don't
the
don't stay dead, all the name gone.
We never had this conversation.
Let me find a video for you.
Sorry?
When the police
Let
come,
me find a video for you.
we never had this conversation.
Oh, right. Oh, Chris. I'll tell the police it was your idea.
Oh god.
I could never, ever do it. Yeah?
I've got so many mods. I have honestly running about 60 at the moment, and it fixes all of the dead crap that comes with the game.
Dude, I modded the hell out of Skyrim, eh? I modded it all the way to the left and then all the way to the right. I mean, it was completely done.
From the left to the right, eh?
I've just made that one
Multi-directional
up,
modding.
Chris. Don't judge me. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna show the video for you, and then maybe this will be okay, cool, that does look like fun. The modders, they know what they're doing with this game.
Yeah. No, I know. Justin, I will look at that video, but I spent 4.5 hours doing
Being
building,
salty.
dude. Yeah, no. I spent 4.5 hours building, dude. And so I'm gonna spend the next at least hour being super salty. Dude, do you know how many times I've just gone to the vault and I got the cryo gun, and now I'm gonna kill these people with a cryo gun. Oh my word, it owns them.
It's innovation in settlement killing.
Dude, this cryo gun owns.
You know what I was thinking about this morning, right? Is that it's well, there's two things, right? Because this morning I had mushroom for breakfast, and I had it with some boiled egg, and both of those foods are I think they're food that people eat only because they can, you know. Does mushroom actually have any nutritional benefit that makes it different from a lot of other foods?
Oh yeah, mushrooms. Real
Yeah,
fucking
dude,
good.
it's got
A super.
protein largely.
Yeah, it's super good for you.
Yeah, but isn't there better
Well-
sources of it? I mean,
Yeah, like
Well,
steak is
just
way
this-
better source of protein than mushroom, right? But
But I think all in all, mushroom is a healthier option.
you think
Is it
so?
though? I don't know. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's just a
No way.
fucking medium on the scale of like healthiness. Like, it's not even that great for you. It's just we eat it because it's like.
Yes,
Why
it
not?
depends what you do to it, but
Well,
Alright.
look, mushrooms are all right. Like, you know, they're one of my favorite foods, right? But definitely, you know, steak definitely is probably better for you than a mushroom.
It's just, I mean, the reason brought this up is that like it's a lot like scrambled eggs too, because scrambled eggs, it's like there's no actual benefit to eating them scrambled. I think it's just that it's kind of fun to watch, I guess, and it makes it
No,
novel.
well, the texture is different. So, I mean, Chris, just remember, not all of this is about how healthy it is for you. Like, a lot of food and cooking is about, like, flavor and texture and things like that.
Yeah, fair enough. I suppose it's just like a new way of eating scrambled eggs, but that's like it, you know.
Yeah. Look, I mean, if you wanted to optimize your diet, I mean, I'd imagine fish would be better than, like, red meat.
It's just that when you're done boiling the egg, you just put it on a piece of toast like normal, anyways, you know.
Yeah. I just ran into the invisible wall in this game. I'm so done.
The invisible wall,
Chris.
like the invisible wall.
Yeah. Yeah, like the one at the edge of the map. It's like, oh, there's
Yeah,
a
but if
mountain, I'm gonna go there. Bang, invisible wall. I'm just like, damn.
if you walk towards the edge of the map on your Pip-Boy, it's gonna stop you at some point.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at my Pip-Boy when I was doing it, though.
Look, I'm not being like, I'm not even playing devil's advocate here. That's just gonna happen.
Yeah. I just, dude, like, they must just fucking put a mountain range there, not like field that I should be able to walk
Yeah.
on. Like, don't like
Modded,
put-
dude.
Dude, I probably will end up modding this game, but I want to do a vanilla playthrough first. That's what I did with Skyrim as well. I bought this game not that long ago, and I really just started getting into it now. So.
Dan, speaking of which, have you seen that they're adding a new mod to Skyrim? Well, it's been around for a while now, that adds the other provinces.
I saw something like that, but I don't know if it's the
Yeah.
exact same one.
It's called Beyond Skyrim. There's another like really big one that's just trying to add Morrowind to the game. That's like getting a lot more attention actually.
I mean, that sounds interesting, but like, will it have quests and all kinds of things, or is it just more landmass? Like...
No, I mean of course there's going to be new quests. It's like one of the things.
Oh,
but,
really?
Yeah, they are adding fucking place where Oblivion took place. I don't know the Elder Scrolls very well.
Cyrodiil.
Yeah, that's the one.
Damn, dude, Oblivion was so good. I really enjoyed that.
I don't know, it's so weird. It's really hard for me to get into.
Dude. Man, that game is the tits, honestly.
The first
Justin,
game.
did you ever play Oblivion?
Yeah, I sort of had a bash at it. I never finished the storyline, just did all the side quests.
Yeah, dude, exactly the same. Like, dude, like the strangest thing is like in that game, you could become like the leader of whatever guild like you went for. You could be like the arch wizard, you could be the leader of the fighters guild, the dark brotherhood, thieves, you name it, right? Like anything you could become the leader of. When you were the leader of all four of these, like it changed nothing. Like everyone just looked at you the same, like the same voice lines were just cracked from people, and you were like, "Do you know who I am?"
They still haven't changed that
Do you
actually.
have any idea? It's like I could have your whole family assassinated, your wealth plundered, fighters guys just beating up your friends, and then me myself, I could turn you into a jellyfish. Well, not a jet. Well, I mean that's kind of shitty, right? What's worth like? What's something shitty to get turned into?
Probably a jellyfish actually.
Yeah, no. What's the?
It's even kind of poetic. I
What's
mean,
that called,
it's
those-
spineless. Like,
Yeah, no. What's
Hey.
the?
eh.
What's the?
How about a chicken?
No, man. Like, help me out here. What is the anglerfish? Like a male anglerfish?
Okay, that is pretty.
Like,
That would be pretty atrocious.
you know, it's just like Justin. You know what happens to male anglerfish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just nothing but a pair of
Imagine that
balls.
shit, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
that's it. It's just
But I'd
a
like,
pair of balls
you know,
attached to another fish.
yeah, you got it, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Or I turn you into a penguin. But you know that that video that went around a while ago about that penguin who got ousted by another penguin, and they were fighting and he was getting all bloodied up. Oh, that was terrible to watch. I'd make him that guy.
Jesus.
Yeah, that
Did you
sounds
think
awful.
really, like, really long about this kind of stuff?
Dude, I'm just saying, if you were all four of those things, that's exactly what you could do.
I
Like,
said, I'm not gonna lie, like, that would be pretty fucking terrible, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with that. I think Fable did it best. It was really funny. You know, you try so hard to be this and that, and it was just kind of like Skyrim. You know, they'd see you and they'd be like, "Oh, you're the wizard of like Wizardshire. Oh my god," you know. But if you made your character like really charismatic and you just kept on doing that shit, the game would just get like, it was really funny. Like people would drop what they were carrying in their hands, like on like, you know, the mere sight of you. Like even if they had like really expensive stuff in their hands, and it would just shatter on the floor, and all the men in the town would go gay for you and stuff. It was fucking funny. Like first the woman at like first sight, they'd just be like, oh, and they just like faint and like fall in love with you, and then the men would start doing it as well.
yeah, that's the kind of reaction. Although, like, you know, I'm just saying, you know, if you are anyway, yeah, we've been over this.
Been over what?
By the way, are you guys watching Preacher?
No, I've heard a lot of
No,
things
I
about
haven't watched it since like episode 4. Is it
Really? Pretty good.
it. Pretty good.
Yeah, I just saw episode 4 of season 2 today, and oh, it's flipping good.
What's his face? Seth Rogen is like an executive producer on that show.
Is he?
Like, yeah, it's his like love child basically. He really loved the graphic novels,
Yeah,
and he sort of like pitched it to the
he produces a lot of good
Customer.
stuff. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I need to rethink.
I always
this
feel
animation.
bad for comedic actors because they never get to do serious shit. Like,
Yeah, that is true.
you know,
What about Stranger Than Fiction with Will Ferrell? I'm just kidding. That movie was a piece of shit.
you didn't like Stranger Than Fiction.
No, I didn't.
I don't remember what that was.
That's the film where what is it? Like an author is dictating his life.
Oh, okay.
Do you know that one?
No.
Okay, so basically, this author basically somehow has fucking godlike powers, where what she writes about people who are actual people, but she just thinks she's coming up with it. But she always
okay.
writes like interesting characters that die in some like really fucked up, ironic way. But like
Yeah.
they can hear her narrating, like when she's writing.
I do.
And so-
I do remember this.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. And so Will
Okay.
Ferrell is like, nope, I'm not doing it. And then, you know, just shit happens to him. Like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I think.
It wasn't a bad film.
I actually don't remember it at all,
Um,
to be honest.
You know, like, Chris, don't back down, man. You
No,
had
but
a
it's true.
statement,
I actually
stand
don't
by it.
remember it. I just think the idea of like Will Ferrell trying to act in a serious role is really funny.
Fair enough.
I gotta be honest. Like after I found Will Ferrell's YouTube channel, that guy that he hangs out with all the time, I think he was in Big Brothers with or something like that. I was just like, this is the most banal shit I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. And then
John C. Reilly, dude. John C. Reilly is a legend.
Oh my god, the Doctor.
Oh, Dr.
Dr. Steve Brule.
Yeah.
Maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. He's fucking hilarious. Did you watch the series that he was in?
No, I didn't. It was the Tim and Eric.
Yeah,
show,
the awesome
right?
show. But they made they gave him his own show.
Really? Dr.
Yeah.
Stephen...
wait, we're still talking about the same guy.
Yeah, John C. Reilly, dude, the legend.
I
The legend.
okay. Well, I don't really know who this person is.
You cuck.
Fuck you. Sorry.
I'm just saying, dude. If you don't know who John C. Reilly is, you're a cuck. I mean, dude, ever since James started saying that, I can't get rid of it. That and Shoal describes anything shit as jut. Like, I just can't crack. I like keep cracking up every time like I think of that shit. Ah,
Jut.
shut.
What the fuck?
Oh, but James is killing it with cuck, dude. I mean, like till then, I just seen it online, and then like one day it just magically came real flexible.
It's
Oh
kind
man, I love the word.
it's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
I love it.
actually.
I love it. I love it.
Man, do you remember when we found out its origins, Justin?
Yes.
We were looking online and we're like, oh, this is slam poetry.
I'm gonna add another one to my lexicon, which is Jags. It's fucking Jags.
Jags. Is that a
Oh,
song?
what?
Short
What's that?
for Jag off. Don't be a jag.
Oh,
Jag off.
jag off.
What the fuck?
Don't be a jag.
Don't be a jag.
Ah,
Gotta love
fuck.
Americans, dude. They do the most fun shit.
Who?
Is this person an idiot? They just rushed me with a baseball bat. I'm like Anton Chigurh. I've got like a silent shotgun. You know who Anton Chigurh is, right?
Nah, I don't know who that is.
Nope.
I can't want to burn you with a lighter or something. He's the guy from No Country for Old Men. He's the assassin.
Oh right, yeah, he was in James Bond, wasn't he?
Javier Bardem plays him.
Yeah,
Did you
right.
say, Chris?
I still haven't seen that movie.
What?
Yeah, he's the guy from James Bond,
Dude,
the
I'm
actor.
yeah. Dude, I'm super surprised that little Chris hasn't set you on fire yet.
What, for not seeing No Country for Old Men?
Dude, it's like so good. Like, he loves that film.
Yeah,
As
I
he
know, he was
should.
ranting about that. Like, he's been ranting about that for years.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, Anton Chigurh uses a silent shotgun. It's a thing of fiction. They don't actually exist. But they put it in Fallout. And so... I should actually rename the gun. Because originally I named it Tyson, because I just made it as hard as possible. And I'm like, yeah. Like, you know, it's like Mike Tyson. Like, I always aim for people's heads, so I take their ears off. But now, I think I'm going to call it Chigurh.
What the fuck, Daniel?
What?
Seriously. I aim at their heads to take their ears off. Did you? You would be the most terrifying soldier. Like, if you know, we had to go to war or something and we got drafted, like, I
Yeah,
would...
dude, but the gun's name is Tyson after Mike Tyson. Like, come on. Like, what am I meant to do? Shoot them in the chest? Come on.
Yeah, but shoot their ears off. Can you actually shoot their ears off? Do their ears... No, they don't. They don't. Don't even know.
No, I just shoot them in their head, and every so often their head explodes. Like that. Damn, as I said it, I pulled it off. So many rads here. What's this person cooking? Dude, that was horrid, man. Like, the last thing I want to do in this game is kill dogs. But the game endlessly sends dogs at you. Like,
Yeah.
it's so depressing.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Dude, I will kill people. Like, so one thing I've started doing, like with the synths,
Yeah?
is like I shoot out their arm that has the gun on it, and then like, you know, they don't shoot you anymore. And then more dogs, are you serious? And then I shoot one of their legs out, so they don't technically die, but they just sit there. They do nothing, like they can't move, they just sit there. And so then I like wander around and I get hidden, and then I get points for sneak killing them, like
Dan-
getting a sneak attack on them.
Like, be honest with me. When you were a kid, were you the kind of kid that would, like, pull the wings off of, like, flies and stuff?
No, I used to not kill ants, dude. I saved bugs from the swimming pool. To this day, I don't kill bugs, dude. I think
Everyone
it's
does
messed
that,
up.
Mother Teresa. Come on. Save
What?
bees from the pool.
Did you pull the wings off flies, Chris?
No. Don't you, like, pull the
You
shit
don't
around a
Weird
bit?
child.
Chris, you just said everybody did it.
Not
And
pull
then
the
when I
wings
asked
off
you,
of
you
flies,
said-
you creepy bastard.
Dude, everyone did what? What?
Everyone used to save the bees from the swimming pool, I think.
Not just bees, like all bugs. I had like a little toy castle. Me and my sister turned it into a ladybug hospital from all the ladybugs in that season. You know, when they're in season and they all fly in the pool like idiots.
Yeah?
Can't go that way. How am I still on the edge of the map? Again. And I can hear gunshots, which is the most annoying part.
Dog's barking.
I'm just gonna run along the border of the map now. Let's see what's on here. I still feel so mad about that fucking, like, that failure of fucking crafting system, the building system. Like... Justin, make me feel better.
At this point, I can't. I'm losing in Football Manager. If that cheers you up through Schadenfreude.
How do you lose a
No,
football
not
manager?
at all. Like, it's only outside influences that I like to see from my friends.
Isn't every soccer player a football manager really? I've already used that joke. I'm
What the
sorry.
fuck are you talking about?
Sorry, the crowd noise is quite loud. What did you say there, Chris?
I said, isn't every football player a football manager?
Football player, a manager.
Yes.
His joke was dry, dude. Just leave it, like, you know. This sick fuck used to pull the wings off flies, dude.
Shut
Don't
up,
even-
Danny, what the fuck?
like,
That was in 2016. I'm a different man now.
yeah, I'm
That
a
was so
different...
long ago. I was
Yeah.
only 20.
He's like, it's like, so, did you ever move on from flies? No. So I used to dress the dogs up like flies.
Jeez.
And it's like their wings, well, technically they're legs. But...
Yes.
Chris, this is all you, dude. You're sick, you know that.
Oh god.
Dude, like, I'll say this, right? This game, it's really good. Like, I'm really enjoying it. But I just now know what I can't enjoy about it. Like, I've moved on. Like that anger in my chest is
Yeah,
like subsided.
I
Like,
think
yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
that's an important thing. Is to sort of know its limitations,
yeah.
and for its limitations, mod the shit out of those limitations.
Yeah.
You can
After
add
this
more
vanilla
hours into the
round,
game. Like you can change the difficulty up so it's like it makes sense. Because what difficulty are you playing on? Like normal?
fuck, I have no idea, dude.
Okay, because like everything just becomes a bullet sponge at some point, and you're pumping round after round after round in these things, and they just will not die. Whereas like with a proper difficulty setting, it just makes the like the ammo more scarce and more expensive, so it actually feels difficult in that sense, and sort of rounds out the
But that,
role-playing experience rather
but
than just making everything hard to kill. You know?
yeah. I mean, if I could do anything to this game, like any mod, I'd probably want to do like an organized bandits thing, like
Yes.
in Skyrim.
If God,
And then I'd like the limb damage system is really good. I just want to make it a little bit more brutal. I know how that
Yes.
sounds, but I really would.
yeah, no, I've got that
And
same mod as
then-
well.
Oh, really? Oh, good. And then
Yeah.
what I would do if I was to do anything else, I'd probably want to, like you were talking about, like, you know, like some guy, he takes like four shots from my shotgun up close. I'd
Yeah.
take that out. You know, I'd do exactly what I did in Skyrim, which sounds like what you also did in this game. And that's
Yeah.
adds slightly more realistic damage. So, like,
Yeah.
in fact, if I could do anything, like, which I can't, but I'd want to add the damage model from Rainbow Six Siege into the game. So, like, a headshot to headshot kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, dead.
You
Yeah,
know?
no, there is there's like a critical limbs or something like that. Then there's critical hits outside of that, which I think is important. What else is there?
Sorry, it just occurred to me that Deadshot from Batman got his name as a pun on headshot.
No, he didn't. Did he?
Did he?
Are you sure about that?
It seems like it.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure that it's a pun on headshot and it's not just that, like, when he shoots,
Yeah,
like, every shot, he'll kill someone?
I'll put my life on it.
Fucking A, dude. I accept. We'll look into this.
Jeez.
So you're gonna dress up like a fly, right? That's the
Just
deal?
for you, Daniel. Just for you.
Oh, you dirty bitch. So I'm gonna put you in a freezer.
What the fuck?
Have you guys ever seen that messed up stuff about like putting bugs in the freezer to calm them down? And it's like, what the hell are you talking about?
No?
Do you not mean like killing them? Like,
Dude, you know, one of my favorite jokes, it's been on the internet for a while, I'm sure you've seen it, it's that like airplane that's made with flies.
no.
Oh
I've
dude,
not
it's
seen
it's probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Like the first time I saw it, I was just dying, right? But basically these guys, they take like 4 flies, right? And you put them in the fridge so they calm down. And then you super glue them onto matchsticks, right? And you make
I've
like
seen this.
a
You
fly
sent it to me.
And somebody...
When did you send this to me? It must have been years ago.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago. Some crazy fucking guy on YouTube actually did it. Like,
That sounds.
And he made like a little hover, like a little popsicle stick flies.
yeah, he
like
made a fly airplane.
airship.
That sounds really mean.
It's
Like,
It is really
fucking
mean.
funny.
what did you say it was, Chris?
Hilarious.
If you take Chris, if you take their wings off, does it become a fly bus or?
I guess so. Or a fly
Oh, what
wheelchair.
the hell? Yeah.
There was a...
Or a fly sled, actually, because it's got no wheels.
I had this idea for a really, really long time, actually. I'm sure I've ranted about this before, where I wanted to make, yeah, like a fly sleigh. And,
Are you serious?
well, God, I mean, it's a little bit hard to organize, and there's not a lot you really gain from it, so I never really, you know, proactively, like, wanted to do it, but you get, like, a fly and you put them in a matchbox, right? And then you tie a whole bunch of Christmas beetles in sequence, like about 8 of them, and you make, like, a Santa sleigh for a fly. But can you imagine you're sitting there, like, eating Christmas dinner with your, like, family or something like that, and that fucking thing just lands on your table? Would you not just, like, piss yourself laughing? Like, I would laugh... I think I would actually die laughing, like, if that happened to me.
Chris, I'll be honest. If that shit happened, like for instance, if I was at the table, I'd instantly know that someone in the house had done this, and I'd need to know who. Would you feel comfortable with your family being like, Chris, did you do this? Because let's face it, they definitely suspect you.
I don't think anyone else in the family would really do it, actually, yeah. You have a point there. Man, you're making me lol, dude.
Sick puppy, you know.
I had this other idea, and this is something that I really want to do, right? Is you just get, like, about...
Chris, you can't kill children. It's
Shut up,
just not
Daniel.
acceptable. I'm serious, it's not.
It's not okay, Dan.
I'm trying to...
Go.
Let me tell the story, you sick bastards. Anyways. So, yeah, what I want to do is I want to get, like, a whole bunch of bees, right? And just, like maybe about 10 of them, and just tie them in sequence using, like, cotton, right? Like, cotton thread. And you just have this terrifying, like, ballast of bees. And they just be flying through the air like a deadly trap or something. Like, imagine you're just jogging or something and this fucking net of bees just lands on you and you're like, oh god, and they're all tied together, you know? Just stinging you, like, really pissed off. Or even wasps would be even better. 'Cause, you know, can sting more than once. But can you imagine the
You're
fucking...
sick, Chris, you know that. You need help.
Shut up, Danny. I mean, can you imagine the confusion after being hit by something like that?
Chris, I'm already confused by that.
It's a fucking weird thing. It's like... It's terrifying.
Now, I'm gonna report you, you know that.
Who are you gonna report me to, Daniel?
The SPCA.
To Jesus.
To Jesus.
Damn right.
Jesus is gonna know all about this.
He already knows, Justin. He even
He's
knows what
watching.
you did the other day.
We did, and I jerked off inside the Bible.
What?
You have to do it in the Bible.
I had the speech in the Bible.
Whose Bible was it?
Were you thinking of Mary Magdalene? Be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's dark, dude.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
Oh.
If you say so, man.
Dude, why the hell is one of my settlers a fucking cow with 2 heads?
Good question, Daniel. Maybe you should have screened them
Seriously,
a bit better when
how
you were
did
bringing them in.
they... Jesus, I don't even get a choice. I just come back and they're here. I'm gonna put this fucking thing down, you know what? It's impervious to a laser gun. Are you serious? How much health is this thing on? But then it dies from a pistol.
I don't think you're really qualified to run a settlement, actually, Daniel.
The way Codsworth just turns on you as well if you kill someone.
It's like, yeah, that's not okay.
Like the mercenary who I hired from the gunners, he's cool, and so's the super mutant. Even Dogmeat doesn't attack me. But Codsworth, he's like, oh, I'm so glad to see you. You like just stab one guy and he's like, oh, come here, I'm gonna cut you to bits. Like, what?
To be fair, you have been wiping out entire villages full of people.
Yeah.
Okay, but I keep then like reloading, so he doesn't know that. Look at
Oh,
this
does he?
one. All you people suck. I'm killing everyone with a shotgun. With a silent shotgun. Just all out in the town center getting owned. Look at you.
I'm sure he didn't have a silent shotgun. Didn't he have like a cow killing machine or something like that? It was like...
Chris, I will rage if you don't watch that movie, dude.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Oh, dude, that sucks. So I've like jumped on one of the roofs. Guess what? Surprise, there's a duffel bag up here. Do you know what's in it? A pipe pistol. Chris, who puts a pipe pistol in a duffel bag on a roof?
I'm still kind of surprised by the fact that somebody actually thought that a silent shotgun would be like a good idea. I mean, isn't that so like excessive? It's just so ridiculous.
It doesn't even exist.
It just kind of reminds me of that pistol that Morpheus has in Matrix. What is it? Revolutions? No, the second one. Reloaded. It's like a machine pistol, same, but that does exist. You know, it's just why, you know.
Oh, I've done it. I found a room with only one entrance. And they're just gonna file into me and they're just gonna die. I'm gonna use the machete.
Alright, I got my young Montenegrin on trial. Let's see how he is.
On trial for what? This really is a football manager.
Yeah. His name is Boris Tatar.
Boris. Tatar.
Boris.
Yes. The little Montenegro and
This music's putting me to sleep. I need to put something else on.
yeah. Alright dudes, well I just popped in to say hello and I'm gonna head out now.
You off, dude?
Cheerio.
Yeah, so have a fantastic evening.
I will.
Cheers, dude. Have a good one, dude.
Hey, aren't you coming out pretty soon?
I came and went, dude.
You're an asshole, you know that.
Dude, I spent basically 4 days a week in Kempton Park with my dad and my grandparents.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I did want to see her. I don't know how it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I didn't see Ricky. Like, there's a couple people I didn't see, but if it makes you feel better, I changed my number without giving it to anyone without realizing. So.
Oh, okay. Alright, well I guess I'll see you hashtag never.
I think September for Miska's wedding.
Oh, okay. That's exciting.
Yeah, boy, you got it, dude.
Alright. See you soon then.
Love and peace, dude.
Bye.
Cheerio. Bye. God, I'm actually so over this game. I'm not even gonna save. I'm just done.
What are you gonna play instead?
I'm probably never gonna play it again.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it, dude. Like, if a great game breaks my trust like that, it's over.
Jesus. I'm gonna start sending like the devs death threats or something.
No. Not, not, not now, anyway.
Hey Lev, how's it going,
I
man?
could think a couple days.
Sorry, I'm just talking to...
You know, you
What's that?
never write. I was saying you never write to death threat a person.
Are you
You
well
always
versed on
send
death threats?
voice notes.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Okay, look. So what you do is like you send them like a, first things first, right?
Yeah?
You need to know who you're going to be killing or threatening.
Yeah.
Then you need to figure out what they love, right? Because sending a note, I mean, they're just going to contact the police. When they get like their pet's paw in the mail or something, that's going to shock them. You know, they're like, oh, where's Prissy? Boom, gone missing. Next thing you know, there's like a package from Amazon. And they're like, I didn't order anything, and they open it. Boom, there's their pet. Their pet's alive. You know.
You just mailed a living
like
pet.
a really. No, man. Like I take the pet from the house. I look after it correctly because I'm not a monster.
Yeah.
And then I package the pet up with air holes and everything, and I leave it on their front porch like an hour before they come home. And you know that would freak you out, right? And then that evening, you know, I ring your doorbell and I run away. You know, a bit of ding dong ditch, dude. Really freak them out.
Dan, when the police come after you, this is all just gonna be evidence, like...
It's like, so what did he do? He kidnapped his pet and he rang his doorbell and ran away. That's not very threatening.
That's terrifying, dude.
It is when you realize... Never mind. I don't know, dude. I'm so disappointed with that game. Like, after that little rant and... Like, I literally, dude, I just spent, like, the rest of that game just killing people and then reloading. I'm done.
Dan, your microphone's just buzzing a little bit, eh?
Really?
Yeah, have you had that problem before?
No?
Okay, that's strange.
Is it good?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
It already sounds like this game's broken your spirits, dude. Jesus.
I'm done. I'm not gonna play it again. Oh, hail King Neptune and his water breathers.
Where's my moderator?
Ain't no
Chris?
snail thing too fast for his water breathers.
I'm not entirely sure what you mean, Lechuga.
Lakiga.
No, it's Lechuga. It's that Ernesto guy, do you remember that?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Hola, mi amigos. Ernesto.
Ernesto. That's
Mi
the one.
amigos.
Hey,
Dude, why are
Dan.
these people sending you pictures of Bahamut? Like,
Oh,
are you
yeah.
some like satanic cult leader?
I really don't know what to say. I just came back to the channel and there's pictures of devils everywhere.
Yeah. Dude, if you're a Satanist, that is what it is, dude. I just
This
think, you know, he's made up. He ain't real.
they're now chanting Hail Duva. Oh my god. You know, sometimes you just gotta connect with your
Oh, dude.
target audience, I guess.
Dude.
So,
Dude, I just saw like an old clip from the Ali G show when he's interviewing David Beckham and that girl from the Spice Girls. What's her name? Posh
oh
Spice.
yeah,
or
Push
whatever.
Spice, yeah.
I have no idea what her real name is. Anyway, it's something Beckham now, I'm sure.
Posh Beckham.
Probably, yeah. Anyway, long story short, I'll just read. So he says, you know, do you want your son to grow up to be a footballer like his dad, or a singer like Mariah Carey?
Fuck. Oh, that's hilarious. having a bit of difficulty with this one. I think if you guys keep on chanting that, you're going to put me on some kind of list. I was hoping to start a cult when I was maybe like 50, not right now, you know? It's not really one of my big priorities. Still there, Dan?
Yeah, dude, I'm just considering whether to uninstall Fallout in an active rage or not.
It can't have been that bad, man.
Dude, I am like, you know when you have like, how can I put it? I'm feeling the emotion like throughout my body. Like, you know when your stomach is like all tight because you're so frustrated? I have that
Jesus
right
Christ.
now. Yeah.
Oh man.
Dude.
Yeah? Is that asshole with his goddamn motorcycle again? Swear to Christ.
Chris, why don't you just kill these people? Just get yourself an assault rifle, dude.
I don't know, it just never really occurred to me, Dan.
You know what you should do? You should take down their plates and hire a hitman.
I don't think that's quite gonna cut it.
Why?
I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a very good scheme all in all. Sorry, Lechuga, I don't think I'm your dad, unless there's something I don't know.
Chris is obviously a time traveler. You've obviously done some dirty shit with someone from Billy's, and this poor bastard traveled back in time because I don't know. You probably died of something you caught.
Dude, if
And then,
I
like,
made
you're so
somebody
disappointed right
if I made somebody from Billy's pregnant, I think I would actually kill myself.
now.
For those of you that don't know, it's just a really dingy club. It's usually like the end of the night when literally you have no other option. And all
But
sorts
it
of
seems like a really well-off area, which is the funny thing. Like,
yeah, strangely enough, it's just really not nice
dude,
people. I
what's
guess.
that other place called by Q's house where we always used to go? It's like a pool hall slash bar.
Oh, Scumrise.
Yeah, that's the one. You know, there or Billy's. I mean, which one would you rather go to?
Yeah, probably Billy's actually. Billy's is kind of terrifying.
You mean Sunrise?
Oh, Scumrise, yeah. Billy's can be terrifying as well, I guess.
I don't think so, dude. It's surrounded by like restaurants.
Yeah, I just see all sorts of weird shit. There's stuff that you always kind of tend to see, like, you know, in that area, in the dead of night.
Like, tell me, dude.
People fighting over like inane shit. Apparently it's like a Valhalla for jocks or something like that. You know, I went on a little adventure on Saturday. I'm not proud of it.
Tell me.
Well, I got wasted, and I went to this club. And while I was there, I mean, this is in like Melville. There was this place that had a VIP area, and I got it in my stupid drunken mind that it was some kind of challenge. So I just sat in the VIP area, and they kicked me out of the club. They were like, "Get the fuck out of here." I think I was trying to run away from the bouncer. Yeah, it's pretty bad, isn't it?
So let me get this straight. You were sat in a VIP area and someone asked you to leave,
Yes.
and you just didn't.
I can't remember. It's really quite bad.
Chris, you have to give more of this story. Come on. Like,
Well,
getting kicked out of a club for sitting in the VIP area is not something to be ashamed of. It's just like something drunk people
it
do.
was just really stupid. I think one of these days I might actually get drunk and end up getting like punched to death or something stupid. I don't know. So anyways, like, Yeah, but the best part is that I got kicked out, right? So I was outside with the bouncer and stuff like that, and then I remember that time that I had dated this French girl, and she spoke French around these bouncers, and they were like, "Oh, we love the French," you know? So I just decided to try my luck, and I was like, "Oh, parlez-vous français?" And this guy was like, "Wow, you speak French?" And then I just didn't say anything else. So the bouncer like liked me after that, but that was it. Then I was like, I think I should go home, and then I was like, "I'm sorry for all the commotion," and I left. And I went home.
Tits, honestly. Parlez-vous français? Are you serious?
It was just a really stupid night, actually. What are you giggling about?
Ah, dude.
Yeah, that was my attempt at diplomacy.
Dude, that's my favorite things.
I met a really nice girl though, but I can't remember her name. All I know is that we had a chat at one point in the night, and she was absolutely like beautiful.
You can't trust yourself when you're drunk, dude.
Can't.
Chances are you were harassing her.
Why'd you have to say that?
Did you milady her? Did you kiss her hand over and over?
Fucking milady her, are you kidding me? Jesus Christ.
Was she like, please leave me alone? And you were like, as thou wish or some dog shit?
I think I probably would have remembered something like that. Fuck. Yeah, there's this friend of mine, and he dated this other friend of mine. And
yeah.
She was ranting to me about the date afterwards. It was kind of funny. She said that he literally said, like, "Here you go, my lady," when they were at the restaurant. It was kind of funny. Not even ironically, like. It was pretty lolsy.
What are you drawing at the moment, by the way?
Are you watching?
No, I'm chatting with you.
Well, I've been working on this new sprite for Crimson Spiral, but the animation looks fucked. So I'm kind of restarting it and trying to get like the fundamentals done properly. Which is a real pain in the butt, but hey. I feel like listening to the StarCraft soundtrack. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been drawing as much as like I usually do the last few weeks. I'm trying to get back into it.
Chris, when are we gonna play some HOTS, dude?
Fuck you.
Maybe this weekend? What?
Oh, right. No, I thought you were just trying to fuck with me. To get me, like, to be
No.
less productive or something.
No, you definitely should be working in the... What?
We need more damage. Oh boy. Some weird shit going on in the Discord right now.
Just so silly about something.
Yeah, Silly's now getting in on this too.
Oh, this is gonna get dark. Oh god, I'm here for this.
Yeah, you guys haven't met Silly before. He's got a pretty unique sense of humor.
Well, okay, I respect Silly for one reason, is that he says he doesn't give a shit what people think. And he's the only person who's ever said that really doesn't.
Dude, yeah, I don't think anyone really gives as little of a shit as Silly.
It's not that he doesn't give a shit, he's just decided, like, you know, anyway. And the best part about him is he's not an asshole.
Yeah,
like, you know.
that is pretty good. I was kind of wondering about it because I was looking this morning at his Facebook, and I think he had one of those like where they poke fun at the minions and stuff like that, and it was just really, really dark. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, like you know those minions pictures that old women always seem to share on Facebook. So he puts up one. It's like a typical one with a picture of the minion and everything like that, and it says, "You know what I hate more than Mondays? immigrants. It's like, fucking hell, man. But I'm sure, like, I mean, it's not even like he goes on Facebook with like a fake name or something. This is the account that he like talks to his family with and everything. So I don't understand. He knows that like minions really like trigger me, so he sends them to me every day. Like goes to Facebook and he finds the most like retarded one he can find, and then he just sends it to me.
Dude,
What?
I can't believe you're triggered by minions.
Yeah, my housemate loves him too. But it does me a trig. What's that?
She doesn't.
She does, dude. Are you
hates
kidding me?
minions.
There's a statue of like a minion in our house.
That's your statue.
That's not my statue.
I know it is.
Shut up, Danny. Trigger needs a dad.
Jesus.
What?
Dude. Have you seen this Kit Harington, like, joke, where essentially he dresses up like other characters for an audition?
No.
You should check it out. The GIF is funny, I'll say that much.
Okay. So glad that I could bring these people together. Silly Nachuga, it's love at first sight. I actually wish that I could work on this stuff like all day. But that generally wouldn't be a very good idea, I think.
Oh, Rue. I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Because now that I'm not playing Fallout, I think I'm gonna go lie down and just rage internally.
Sorry, you're
Sorry?
gonna have nightmares about this goddamn settlement tonight. You're gonna be taunting you from the
I
stupid
honestly, Chris, I honestly was having so much fun playing that game. Like, you don't understand, and like, I just have such a negative connotation towards it now. I legitimately don't know if I'll even play it again for like a long time.
All the fun was just ripped out, was it?
Dude, I feel like, yeah. What's a negative connotation has now linked itself in my head with this game, and it doesn't seem to be like dislodging itself.
Jesus, man, this game really rattled you.
Dude, that shit, dude. Like, dude, do you know how long I spent doing that? Like, that's what bothers me. You have no idea how long I spent. Like, 4.5 hours straight, dude.
Lechuga.
Why did they even make that system? Like, surely they should have figured it out. This is what's actually enraging me. How dumb the whole thing is. Anyway.
It does sound pretty dumb. Sorry, Dan. Lechuga, I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm your dad, bro.
Dude, you're definitely his father. Don't lie to the poor boy.
No, it's not me.
It's you. Be honest. So, Chris, when we call you the Spanish one, and you're like, no, I'm really from, like, South America, do you think that that isn't a big, like, giveaway?
Oh, yes. No, I remember my youth in the lush
Are you
plains
from
of,
SA? Just answer the
South
question.
America.
Do you live in SA? Yeah, you got it.
You know, yeah,
Anyway, dude, look, I'm just joking. It's been really good chatting with you, but I'm gonna run, alright?
Alright, cool. I'll check it in, man.
Alright. Cheers, dude. Love and peace, brother.
Cheers, bro.
Man. Bye.
Chill. looks so funny when you speed it up like that. Obviously it's going to be somewhat smoother in the game. This is usually how these sprites start out, just extremely rough. You might have noticed that I've actually colored the keyframes. There are certain frames that are quite essential in a walking animation, and I'll tell you all about that now. Yeah, sorry if I'm a bit quiet, I'm just a little bit tired today. I can sing, I don't know how good it is. I'm not going to sing now though, before you ask. My housemate's trying to sleep, she's next door. This is the one that seems to like the minions so much. So maybe you've got an arm over here. It has to move in the opposite direction as its corresponding leg. But there's still a frame in between that we haven't added yet. And I'll show you now. Like I say, it's not very pretty at the moment, but it's just to illustrate the purpose. Or the general form. I suppose you could kind of actually just call this like a gesture drawing, really, just animated. If you've got a plan, then every drawing will come together perfectly fine. So before I try to put a lot of detail into something, I make sure that it's absolutely going to look fine when that detail arrives. And right now it's all in the legs. These crazy legs. Don't quite look right at the moment. Right now there's only about 8 frames, but that amount will probably double later on. The idle animation I actually did for the character, the one that you see on the right, which isn't really animated at the moment, but you get what I'm saying. That actually, I created an anatomical drawing and it's got about 16 frames in it, so that one took a really long time. Hopefully this one doesn't take as long. I'm not in much of a singing mood right now. Sorry. Yeah, that's for sure. So I say I wish I could do this stuff as like a day job, you know? I could just practice every day. But I'm a little bit out of form at the moment. Like, you work for long enough and eventually you'll come up with this amazing, like, kind of workflow and stuff. And then you take like a little break and all of a sudden it feels like you gotta relearn all that stuff. Well, not relearn it, you gotta like remember it all. It's a little bit like talking, actually. I mean, with talking, it's like, it's one of those things that if you don't use it, you're just gonna lose it. Socializing, I should say. I heard a really good thing the other day. I was listening to, yeah, it's Blender Guru on YouTube. He made a bet with his brother that he could get like 1,000 likes on his new ArtStation account on 2D art, and like that's not something that he ever really does. He like exclusively does all of his artwork in 3D, and he says that one of the most important things behind like successful artists is somebody who is to produce like crap loads of pieces instead of like worrying about making like everything perfect. Which of course is advice that people have given over and over, but it's so true. Like when you do a drawing, it's like 80% of your time will go into the finer details, and maybe like 20% of the time will go into actually putting down the larger details, the most important stuff, like the structuring kind of stuff. So if you spend most of your like art career just kind of trying to become better at the finer details, then you'll just not really improve that much because you won't actually produce that much artwork, and hence you won't be able to actually learn as much as somebody who's just kind of putting out artwork every single day. So with that in mind, I'm actually trying to make my workflow a little bit more fluid and less time consuming, just so I can get to more content like quicker, But throughout like any creative process, there's like definite parts, like it's like coming up with an idea, right? You got to be of a different mind when you're actually executing the idea to when you are coming up with ideas. When you're coming up with ideas, you got to be kind of daydreamy, and like, I mean, you got a purpose, but like you still just kind of like, it's quite relaxed, And then when you actually produce the work, that's when you got to sit down with the actual ideas that you made beforehand, start spending some time getting it out. I do have a mother and father, and they are very nice people. Yeah, man, I feel you on that. There's something really beautiful about like well-formatted code too. commented and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, of course, efficient and all that stuff. When I actually started coding, I had this really, really bad thing. I don't know if... It's not necessarily bad, but it definitely kind of held me back. But, well, you know, I got into web development and stuff like that. I mean, it's like my bread and butter at the moment, because I do a lot of freelance work on websites, and I just refused to use jQuery outright, because I thought that it wouldn't... I thought that I had to learn JavaScript, and it would be better because it was just more like machine code, I guess, or closer, you know, to... I can't remember if it's high or low level computing. I think it's low level. And I actually just dragged projects out like immensely as a result. But, you know, at the end of the day, I got to learn JavaScript, so it wasn't so bad. And that's probably the first bit of programming that I've actually learned. Yeah, I mean, it's funny actually. I read this thing a while back, which kind of put everything into perspective for me. I mean, this is around like the same time, where somebody said that if you had to build a computer from the ground up, even if you knew how to make one, like if you had to create every single point and you had to actually create everything yourself, you know, you still wouldn't have enough time in your entire lifetime to actually make a computer if you had all of the instructions. And that's really the way it is, you know. I mean, with coding, it's like there's always like there's another level that's you're always kind of working from anyways, you know. So you shouldn't feel like you've got to work on the absolute like lowest level. Sorry, let you go. I got a bad habit of talking really softly. There's also another video where a guy makes a toaster out of like the most basic ingredients, like sand and, you know, raw metal and all that stuff, which really has nothing to do with what we were talking about, but I still find it really, really funny. Speaking of which, I've been watching this channel lately. I think it's called like William something. I'm not really too sure. He's like an engineer, and he's one of those guys that makes like crappy robots. I mean, and they're genuinely crappy. Like he says so himself. He makes it his mission to just try and make the most like useless inventions, and it's goddamn hilarious. The guy's got a special like talent for comedy too, which really helps. So I was watching a video today where he made a gingerbread trailer house, which was hilarious. He just makes stuff like that all day. Can you hear me, Pachunga? Oh. Yeah, man. That's the thing as well, coding. I think it can drive people insane. It's like the entirety of coding is just kind of like finding one problem after another. Which can be kind of agonizing if you expect everything to be done like kind of quickly. It really does require like a mindset, like programming. Man, there were days I used to get so stressed. like I didn't have the solution to a problem in time and stuff. I was actually working on this website for this lady, and I was using WordPress, and I got it to work, like the problem that I had, and I ended up making this really cool solution. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but the next time I came back to it, it wasn't working, and it never did again. And I must have spent months just trying to get this goddamn thing to work again. It was agony. What's up, Lachuga? That looks kind of stiff. Okay, that's obviously not what we're after. I think I can chuck that layer away. That can't be it either. Okay. Oh god, yeah. Some of the guys that I used to work with said that the worst thing they've ever had is when they had to use some kind of framework for this huge project. Like their entire company basically relied on it, and even searching on Google, there were like 2 results. That was it. There was nothing for it, no documentation anywhere. Still, if you want to hear something really funny, in the same company there was this really, really bad disaster once when one of the team members, who they still, you know, were on good terms with, so obviously wasn't so bad, accidentally deleted the database information for all of their clients, and they had to drive around the entirety of South Africa to collect it from each person, like, personally. Oh, no, they had to set something up on each client's, like, you know, at their company's sites, so they had to drive around the entire country, just a small team of like 8 guys, and just try to clean up. It was a disaster. Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating as well when you're trying so hard to find the solution to something, and you finally find it, like in a forum. You get so close, right? Because there'll be like a forum post where somebody will be asking the question that you need the answer to, and then the guy who replies is like, nah, just PM me, and then I'll tell you in private, and that's it. You just never hear about it again. Yeah, I don't know what it is about coding. It's just like really torturous sometimes, but then it's also like so rewarding. Like self-abusive. Still, I haven't really like, you know, done any real coding in a while. It's all just kind of like scripting languages, and has been for a while. I used to try and like make myself code every day and stuff, but I figured it was just better that I try and focus on one thing. I used to work in Unity for a while, and that's where I kind of learned about C#, and that was a little bit more forgiving, you know. Maybe. The worst thing is just trying to learn something yourself and not having the information that you need. That's where it becomes agonizing. But man, that feeling of getting something, like solving something, is amazing. Like there've been times where I've solved a problem with like the code or something like that, and I just stare at it blankly because I can't believe that it's actually working. Speaking of which, actually, we had this huge website that like me and one of my partners had to do for the Indian government, of all people, for their education department. and they decided that they wanted to host it on Amazon Hosting, and I did not have the expertise to work with server-side languages, so the whole thing was just like a roller coaster. It was freaking terrifying because we had to learn how to actually use it, and like I think we really underestimated just how difficult it was going to be to like host a website there. And then finally, like I was saying, I got it to work, and I just was kind of staring at it like, holy shit, I got it to work. But then later on there was a problem, right? So I had to get it fixed up, and by chance the person who was doing this project for us, or managing this project for us, told us that they wanted to switch over to a new host, like a kind of not as dedicated a host as Amazon. So we found this new host where everything was kind of set up for us. But on the last like day or two, someone tried to give me the solution to the problem, because the problem was we're using too much of the the server CPU, right? So by chance, I broke the entire website on the last day, and just managed to get the files out. And this is like a job where like $5,000 are on the line, and it's probably the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced. Just by freakish luck, I managed to make it out of there. We put up the website on the new host, and we're absolutely fine. But for a short moment, everything just could have gone so badly. I want to add like a lot of expression to these animations, but this is just a walking animation. There's not really a whole lot of room for it. If there's one thing I kind of detest about a lot of like modern day fiction, it's just characters that are very like bland. Like, it all kind of started with The Matrix, I think, when you got like characters like Neo, and then by the third movie, everyone in the movie was acting like Neo, where like they just delivered their lines kind of deadpan and stuff. Kind of makes me think of this new Doomfist thing on Overwatch, because I know a lot of people wanted Terry Crews to be the actor, but voice actor for Doomfist, and some people are saying that he just wouldn't be a good fit. But if you look at Doomfist, the actual character, he's actually just really boring. I mean, Terry Crews would have added some character to that. Like, you can have antagonist or whatever that isn't a serious guy and still be kind of scary, I mean, just look at like Samuel Jackson. He's played a lot of roles like that. Or Christopher Waltz in God, like every single movie that he's in. It doesn't help that this animation is playing too fast. But the problem is, if you change the frame rate in Photoshop, the whole thing just seems to spaz out unless you get like a perfect multiplier, whatever frame rate you had it on before. Yeah, you can see it's actually already broken it. No, there you go. I would use Flash, but I just hate that program. It hasn't been updated in years. Not in any sensible way, at least. Yeah, I don't know, like back in the 90s, I think a lot of action heroes were just kind of comedic, I guess, and they weren't really that serious. And I mean, even the serious action heroes, they at least used to put out like one-liners whenever they like disposed of somebody. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger is like a good example, right? But after like The Matrix, that was like the new standard for heroes. Just these like brooding, like boring guys. I don't know. Just doesn't really excite me that much. But maybe that's just my personal opinion. I mean, there've been some really cool ones in the past, but it doesn't work for all of them. Most of the time it's meant to appear as kind of like very serious, but it just comes across as being like, yeah, just boring. Like void of any real expression. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I used to freaking love The Matrix. It was like a staple of like early 2000s to like late 90s cyberculture. I hate actually using that word, it really makes me feel like I'm getting old. These kids and their cyberculture. So what I'm going to do now with this picture is correct a lot of the problems with the anatomy. And of course, I mean, the fact that it looks really janky right now, it's just going to take a bit of time to actually like iron it out. Like small details just repeatedly fixed till eventually you get something that's quite normal. And then you can start working on the smaller details. But this is usually how I start just about every animation, you know? Just to see it in motion first. It's kind of like I've created a sketch that moves, and then that sketch now needs to be turned into a painting. But if you just do one frame and you fully render it out and stuff, and then you start going into the next frame, it's just never going to work out. You'll just end up looking atrocious. Or even worse, you'll end up having not done something, or done something wrong, and then have to go back and redo those steps, which is just a nightmare. So better to do it like this, save yourself the trouble in the future. There's a bit of perspective in this as well, which just makes things like 10 times more complicated than they have to be. I'm probably going to end up having to, well, I mean, obviously I'm going to have to end up working on this another day as well, too. But yeah. Thing is, does it have the right perspective for a fighting game? We're going to look at some of the examples and find out. I actually created a animation for walking ages ago, but it was right on the side, and it wasn't done the same way that these latest frames are done, which is more like line art than painting. So I had to kind of start from scratch. But I'll put up the animation anyway, so you guys can see it. See if it animates here. There it is, yeah. There's something kind of cool about this character that I haven't really told anyone, but I'm gonna say it now, so you guys must feel privileged or something like that. But this guy is almost entirely inspired by those really like most basic punks from Streets of Rage. I'm gonna hint at it, but I'm not just gonna outright like say it, so aside from now, don't tell anyone. That's something not a lot of people actually know about Overwatch 2, something similar. If you guys have a look at the human skin for Ray's Reaper, he looks almost exactly like John Freeman from Half-Life for Life Consequences, which is hysterical if you ask me. You get primary and secondary animation as well. Primary, of course, is like the most basic form. It's like a person's body and like the things that don't really move with them. Well, they don't move, you know, like they don't wiggle and stuff like that when they move. Secondary animation is when you take the things like clothing and hair and stuff that move on account of other things moving, and you work on those later. And that's also something that's really fun to do, so it's hard to like tell myself not to get straight into that phase when I'm still here with the boring stuff. It's actually 11:30, so I think I'm going to call it quits for tonight. I just want to say thank you for everybody for watching, and I'll see all of you pretty soon. Probably tomorrow night. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.